New Zealand. Let's go.
Coming up, co-host Dan Hooker is in action this Sunday at UFC Qatar, and we speak to him on the ground.
Competitively, I'd love to have his name on my resume. I think that'll be a real feather in the cap.
Hooker's opponent, Arman Tsarukyan, makes it very clear that a score will be settled this weekend.
I want to smash his face, and maybe he wants to do the same.
And former welterweight champion Belal Muhammad is determined to get another shot at the title.
For me to go out there and dominate him and finish him, I think I'll prove myself to be the best welterweight in the world.
Kia rite mai.
I mean, what in the world?
Beautiful sound. I like what I'm seeing from you. I like what I'm seeing. I like the footwork and good left hand by Malcolm, but look, doing fouls back against nice right hand. At the end of the round here, spinning elbow. Yeah, Ewing has a great head movement. Oh, good combination by Ewing. A little bit crisper and a little bit more technical, like right there.
Short right hands get through for Ewing.
What a performance. Oh, my goodness. Oh!
Been a long time since a Ewing lit up Madison Square Garden. Tonight it's Ethan.
Blanchfield in on a double leg and one to her feet. Tracy's got to be careful not to let her collect her back here. She's got to choke.
She's got to choke, but she doesn't.
Whoa! What a way to exact her revenge. Blanchfield by submission in round 2.
That was huge. That power is just tremendous.
Oh, right hand.
I think he's just a little scared to pull the trigger.
Yes. Oh!
Right in front.
Bang! Head kick. I mean, Vieira's gone.
Stop, please stop. If you want to touch, do it now. Stop left.
Kia ora e te iwi, no mai hara mai ki UFC on Sky Korovinda Hunia Tōku Ingoa. You were just watching highlights from UFC 322 in New York, which saw the former lightweight champion Islam Makhachev dominate the former welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena to become the 11th UFC 2 Divisional champion and opening the gate for all the welterweight fighters at the top of the pecking order. Michael Morales, Carlos Prates also getting finishes fighters on this New York card, and not to mention former champion Belal Muhammad will be facing Ian Garry this weekend in Qatar. But Islam has already made it known who he may want to see next in the octagon to defend this new welterweight title, and that's another former champion in Usman. So my advice to you, Whānau, do not take your eyes off the welterweight division. It is running hot right now. And of course, the co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko retained her flyweight title over Zhang Weili. And it went down a lot like our co-host Dan Hooker predicted, actually. Valentina Shevchenko fighting on the outside, using her distance, and of course, honing in on that wrestling that she has become quite an expert in over these last couple of weeks. So congratulations to both Valentina and Islam. And of course, to Jack Della Maddalena, our fellow Anzac. Can't wait to see you when you are back in the cage as well. Now, Whānau, you will notice that Dan Hooker isn't here with me this week, and I already mentioned Qatar this weekend. He will be headlining this act alongside number 2, Arman Tsarukyan, and here's what he had to say from the ground and his opponent as well. Joining me now, Whānau, co-host Dan Hooker is on the line all the way in Qatar. Kia ora e hoa, how are you?
I hope I'm still getting paid for this. Hey.
Let's see what you give us.
I'm still going to be invoicing Sky TV.
Quick pan around the room. That'll work.
We're good as gold. We're as good as gold.
Yeah. How does it feel to be on the ground? Does it feel a bit different? Obviously, you had the face-off, so juices are flowing now for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like obviously, like that's the cool part about it. Getting eyes on and shit like that. But yeah, put some eyes on. He's only a little fella. I can't say I was too impressed.
How were the eyebrows up close, bro?
I couldn't even see that far. I was trying to look for his shirt. He was looking pretty. Yeah. He's not very big. Short. Be a good one. Yeah. So it's just like as you get closer to the fight, you just grow like more and more confident from different things. I'm just itching forward at this point. There's only a couple more. I think we start our weight cut tomorrow night, and then she's all over. So we're a couple of days away.
How are you feeling with the weight cut?
We're good as it's the blessing of being a weedy thing is that it's quite easy to step on the scales. Yeah, I could do. I'm like in shooting distance now. So just kind of hang tight, be patient, knock this. I think we've got media day after this, bit of an open workout, and then they kind of give you the day off before you get into your weight cut. I believe. I'm probably forgetting something off my schedule.
Well, how were you off the plane, bro? Long flight, what 17-hour flight you took to get over there?
That's my superpower is the ability to sleep on planes. It's just that's my hidden talent. I was mouth open before we even took off. Before we even left the tarmac, I was catching flies on board in economy. Woke up 13 hours later. We're golden. We're golden.
Nice. So what does it look like now? You say, the weight cut begins and all of that. Talk to us about that process.
Yeah, I just got media day today. We've been training at I think I walk 11 p.m. this time. And so I've just been training every day at 11 p.m. the last 2 days. We'll ever train. Probably one more training session tonight, and then probably one more hard training session tonight, and then tomorrow night we'll just get into the weight cut. So a bit of a lighter training session, but then just sitting in the bath, getting down to 70 kilos, and it's all party time from then. We got weigh-ins, ceremonial weigh-ins, and then we get to fight.
Wicked. Look, I got to speak to Arman last night. Looked
Lucky
like he
you.
wasn't very... Yeah, well, I didn't quite know how to read him. I didn't know if he actually wanted to be on the call or not, but I did appreciate it. Obviously, he knows you're on the show with me. But he did say that you both will be looking to kill each other tomorrow and that you two genuinely don't like each other. Is that kind of your mentality coming into this fight?
That kind of as you draw closer, that's just all bullshit. You know what I mean? That's just all. like I've felt every in a UFC fight. I felt every emotion you could possibly have ever felt, and not a single one of them has helped me at all. You know, it's you kind of go as you get close to the fight, you just get cold to all that bullshit. I understand like the technical side of it, and that's like more of what I'm focusing on is like my energy and the technical side of it. But you think I'm gonna go in there and be like, oh, Arman said that I suck at jiu-jitsu and get upset about that? It's like, bro, it's not that deep. Like, competitively, I'd love to have him on his name on my resume. I think that'll be a real feather in the cap.
I did crack up though when you two were having your face off, you know, and he, you know, put the hands up and got a bit aggressive or whatever, and there you were just chilling, just like, oh yeah, okay, do your thing,
no,
bro.
I thought when he put his hands over my chin, and I was like, fuck, your arm's only that long. I was like, if I put my hand up to your chin, I'll hit you. I was like, I've got another foot of arm than you do. Like, I couldn't believe how short his arms were. Really, that's why I started laughing. I just started giggling to myself because I was like, is that all you got?
Nice. Look, I was just looking at your pearly whites too. So you got a bit of tooth work done. I forgot to ask you about that on the show, actually.
Got it fixed. Nah, I got it fixed the next day. Yeah, that's what the missus said. She said, you look like how you sound. I was like, oh.
It's an early fight over here. Obviously, the main card starts at 7 a.m. But a message for home, bro, because I know a lot of fans here at home will be tuning in.
I got a message for home. $4.50. $4.50. Mortgage the house, New Zealand. We're going to be rich.
Kia ora, Arman Tsarukyan, and welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you.
Look, you'll be fighting New Zealand's own Dan Hooker this weekend. So talk us through a bit about preparations and how you've been getting ready for this fight. It feels like this has been brewing for a little while. There's been, you know, words going backwards and forth. Is there any type of perhaps relief that the fight is finally here?
Yeah, the camp been good. Feeling great. So excited. And this year it's my first fight that I'm gonna fight, and I've been waiting a long time, so that's why I'm so excited.
And as Dana White has stated that this fight could be, you know, that number one contender spot, do you feel that this is, you know, a shot at the title for you, that a win here places you to fight Ilia Topuria next?
Yeah, you know, I gotta go there, perform very well, and get my title shot. And I had a chance in January to fight for the title. You know, as you know, I pulled out before 1 week or almost 2 days the fight, and yeah, I had my chance, and I gotta prove that I'm a real contender, and I'll do this on this weekend and get my title.
Yeah, that's right. Look, you had that opportunity. So how motivating, you know, on top of just wanting to fight Dan Hooker, is this for you, knowing that you were so close and not able to fight Islam Makhachev for the title? How much fire in the belly does that give you this weekend?
You know, I'm super motivated because this is contender, not on a contender fight, a main event in Qatar. My whole family is coming and watch. A lot of friends, you know, that's motivate me a lot when your crowd, your people is coming to support you, and you don't want to make them upset, you know.
That's your family, mate. They're going to love you no matter what and support you no matter the result. I can pretty much guarantee you that they'll be proud just to be there watching you. But, you know, back to this fight with Dan Hooker. And, you know, there's been a bit of war of words online, social media, and in interviews and things like that. I just wanted your thoughts on how this is going to spill over into the cage on Sunday.
Yeah, the card is stacked. Main event is great. And maybe a couple first round is going to be boring, but then the third and the first round is going to be knocked out.
In terms of what you two bring, in terms of your strength, you know, we know Dan Hooker loves the striking game, and we know that you are a very well-rounded fighter yourself, but the expectation is wrestling on your part. Where do you see this fight going, and perhaps do you want to take this fight, you know, to the later rounds, considering it's a 5-round fight?
I don't want to take this fight to the later rounds. I want to finish him as soon as possible. And yeah, like everybody knows that I'm gonna try to wrestle. So my game is to wrestle him.
Kapai, well, look, before I let you go, Arman, there has been that war of words that I spoke about earlier on, you know, between Dan and yourself. I just want to know, is there bad blood there? Is this, you know, not liking each other, a genuine feeling on your part?
I mean, we don't like each other, so I want to smash his face, and maybe he wants to do the same, and that's why we go there and just kill each other during the fight. He's going to try to kill me on the feet. I'm going to try to kill him on the ground.
And that is why fans, both here in New Zealand and around the world, will be tuning into that fight because the venom will be spilled over into the cage, and we all can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for your time, Arman. All the very best for this weekend.
Thank you. No problem.
Now, featuring as the co-main event in Qatar this weekend is the former welterweight champion Belal Muhammad, who will be facing 6th-ranked Ian Garry. And here's what they had to say about not only facing each other this weekend, but building their way back up the division to potentially face the new welterweight champion, Islam Makhachev. Well, joining me now all the way from Qatar is UFC welterweight Belal Muhammad. Kia ora, Belal, and welcome to UFC on Sky.
How you doing? Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
No worries at all, mate. Look, you're on the ground, ready to go. How does it feel now that it is fight week and happening against Ian Garry this weekend?
I mean, this is the best part. Camp is finally over. We're healthy. It's fight week, couple days away. That's the prize, right? That's the prize at the end of the rainbow.
Now, for you, is this a title contender fight? Obviously, you have held the belt before. You're obviously fighting at the top of the division. So for you, is this a title contender fight?
Yeah, I think this is the #1 contender fight. If you look at what happened last week, obviously Prates had a big win, but Ian already beat Prates. Morales beat Brady. I already beat Brady. So I've been there, done that. Now I think Ian Garry, who only has 1 loss against Shavkat in a close fight, for me to go out there and dominate him and finish him, I think I'll prove myself to be the best welterweight in the world.
Absolutely. You have well and truly earned your stripes. Obviously, in May this year, you fought Jack Della Maddalena. That fight didn't go your way. Is this fight somewhat of a redemption for you? What has been your thought process coming into this one after that fight in May?
Yeah, of course. Anytime you lose a fight, you want to get one right back. You want to get like a rematch. You want to get going. So this is my rematch. This is my going. This is everything you have in your mind, everything you have in your heart since that fight that you've been dwelling on. So now I get to release it Saturday.
Nice. Look, I've been watching some clips of Ian Garry, some of his interviews. He does like to talk a lot, say what's on his mind, and be quite honest and frank about things. I was just wondering, how you, working to stay focused, to block out the noise, to really, concentrate on what you need to do this weekend.
I mean, he's not really good at talking trash, right? He just likes to talk and jabber. It just makes me want to just shut him up. So for me, it doesn't really matter. If he was good at it, then I'd be like, all right, maybe I'll go a little back and forth. But he just sounds like a dork.
Your thoughts on him as a fighter? He's obviously sitting at number 6 in the division. His name has come across your desk. You've accepted the fight. So your thoughts on him and what you're going to face this weekend?
Honestly, to me, he's just like another sheep, and I'm a wolf. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to show the world that he's not on my level, and I'm going to break him and finish him.
Because there's been a bit of talk now in the welterweight division about the new wave coming through. You mentioned Prates and Morales and their results on the weekend. Do you think that that's what's happening in the welterweight division? There's this new invigoration of sorts that's happening? I
don't think it's new invigoration. I knew these guys were good. Like I've been watching them and paying attention to them. I pay attention to all these guys. But some of the other guys that they're on their way out, right? You got the Gilbert Burns, the Luke Gaves. They're on their downward trend. But for myself, I still think I'm a part of this future. I still think I'm the top of my game, feeling the best I ever felt. And Saturday is just going to be a reminder for everybody. Absolutely. And I know you've been doing a great job of analyzing fights on your YouTube channel. I love listening to those podcasts. Thank you.
I just wanted your thoughts on that Islam Makhachev performance against Jack Della. I know you've been asked plenty about what's happening in the welterweight division, but your thoughts particularly on Islam and what he did at the weekend. I think he did a really good job of implementing his strategy. Habib and their team is very smart. They did a good job of
wrestling him, and it looked like Jack really was gave up on himself at the end of like the third round. So I don't know what happened to him mentally, if he broke or just spiritually, just probably like got drained.
Yeah, very much so. A lot of people say that, you know, they prepare for an Islam Makhachev, but it's not until you really get in there that, you know, you really feel that power that he has. And I mean, that could potentially be you in the future. Is that something that excites you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, for me, I want to be the best in the world. And to be the best in the world, you got to be a champion. But right now, it's to get to the championship title, we got to win Saturday night. That's my full focus.
How does it happen, bro? How do you reckon you crack this one over Ian Garry?
I walk in there, I break his jaw, put him to sleep, and then I go get some dessert in Qatar.
Nice one. Thank you so much for your time, Belal.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.
Featuring in the co-main event this weekend at UFC Qatar is UFC welterweight Ian Garry, and he joins us now. Kia ora, kia koe, Ian. Welcome to UFC on Sky.
How are you? You good? It's a pleasure to be here.
Look, first of all, before we get started, please talk to us about where you are, because the background looks absolutely stunning.
I know, right? We're at the penthouse of the Sheraton in Qatar, and Qatar is absolutely beautiful. If you've not been, you should come try it. It's stunning. The food's good, the people are good, the energy's good. I highly recommend it.
Have you been to Qatar before?
First time here, and I'll absolutely 100% be back, for sure.
Lovely. Well, it's good to hear that you're enjoying it so far, and a lot has already been happening. There's been photo opportunities, there's been media press conferences already. So talk to us about, you know, the feeling over there in the ground in Qatar as the days draw nearer to fight night.
I've been kind of saying this to my team all week. It just feels normal. It doesn't. I've done this now. This is my 11th time fighting in the UFC. I've done this on the biggest stages and the biggest fight cards since I've been in the UFC, and I don't know, it just feels like home. It feels easy. It feels natural and normal to me, so I'm excited.
Feels like this fight has been, you know, brewing for a little while now, a fight that you wanted for a while. Talk to us about finally getting this moment to face Belal Muhammad.
I was calling for Belal to fight him in Chicago. I wanted to fight him in his back garden, and he said no. So the fact that we have to fly halfway across the world and do it a lot later is a bit irritating, but however, the world works out whatever way it works out. We're here now, and I'm going to punch his head off him this week.
Solid game plan for the weekend. But look, I wanted to get your thoughts on the welterweight division. It's up and about at the moment. We've seen, you know, some great results from UFC 322, but there seems to be this younger wave coming over the old, and you're a very big part of that.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. You see the new youth and the new generation of the welterweight division coming into play. We're seeing the older guys get funneled out, and we're seeing the new guys take over. And all I can say as a fight fan, the UFC welterweight division is absolutely booming, and I'm excited to be at the top of it.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, when you see what Michael Morales did, what Carlos Prates was able to achieve, you know, win and win well, you know, how much perhaps motivation does that give you to know, you know, how much of an exciting performance you have to put on to make yourself, you know, undeniable for the next title shot?
I wouldn't say their performances gave me motivation. I knew from the moment I signed this fight with Belal Muhammad that what I do dictates what everybody else does. When I win this weekend, when I knock out Belal Muhammad, I make Michael Morales and Carlos Prates irrelevant.
That is a great point. And you do pose something different within the welterweight division. You give something different. You have a different energy, a different vibe, you know, coming from the other side of the world. Fans flock to see what Ian Garry is going to do next. So, you know, very simple strategy for the weekend ahead. I wanted to just cast your mind back to May, and wanted to know what you thought of Belal Muhammad's performance, title performance against Jack Della Maddalena. What did you make of that?
Yeah, so I was present in Montreal when they fought for the world title. I was the backup. I weighed in officially in case either guy couldn't make it to the octagon. I was ready. On fight night, I had my jockstrap and my gum shield in my bag in case they needed me on the last second. I was ready to go, trust me. I thought Belal looked super slow. I thought he looked slow. He plods a lot. He's not got clean footwork. But also, Jack is so good on the feet. why on earth did Belal try and strike at him? Why test your ego? And I feel like he's also saying that same stuff again this week, and I don't believe it. I think he's lying to himself. He's lying to the fans. He's not saying his true intentions because he's afraid. His last entrance into that octagon left in defeat, left in a battering. Like I watched him leave that octagon, bruised up, limping, hobbling, with his team, faces down, heads down. I'm going to make sure that he leaves the same way.
Did you think, though, when Belal was making those comments leading up to that fight about, comparisons to Canelo and all those boxing comments, did it actually surprise you that on the night he followed through with that and actually went through with that game plan, as opposed to perhaps, trying to mentally steer JDM in a different direction?
I was shocked he tried to box with Jack. I was shocked. Because just from a stylistic point of view, why on earth would you try box a boxer? It's just a weird ego thing that when Belal mixes up his game, he was able to hit Jack. And that's when he was able to have success. And had he done that more, I think he could have beaten Jack. Because when he was faking the shots, he was landing and he was being aggressive, he was having success. But just trying to stand on the feet and box, you're going to get sniped. Belal's nowhere near as talented on the feet as Jack.
To me, I feel like you're a very confident man, confident fighter, but I just want to know, about those confidence levels leading into this fight. You've run the tape, you know how he moves, but you've seen him up close as well. You've seen how he ticks and how he talks leading up to a fight and in the octagon as well. Yeah. Confidence levels going into the fight this weekend, bro.
Look, God has a plan, and I'm just happy that I'm walking it because I know where it takes me. There's no one in the world that can stop me. The future is inevitable. I am going to happen. I'm going to get that belt wrapped around my waist, and there's no way in hell Belal Muhammad stopping me.
Look, before I let you go, obviously main event at UFC Qatar, Arman Tsarukyan versus New Zealand's own Dan Hooker. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Don't be afraid. You don't have to be biased because we're New Zealand media or anything like that. Your honest thoughts on the main event.
No. I think it's a tough fight for both guys because Dan brings the fight to anyone in the world. And obviously Arman is fighting in this fight to secure himself as the #1 contender and lock in a fight with Ilia Topuria next. That's what he's looking for. So Arman needs to do it in a dominant fashion. That's what I believe Arman needs to do. And Dan Hooker needs to come in here and go, actually, I'm here to cause a problem. I'm here to just shake up this division a little bit and put my name in the hat. So it's a very, very interesting fight. Obviously, Arman Tsarukyan's a phenomenal wrestler, very technical, very talented, and Dan loves his scrap. He doesn't care where it is, how it is. He'll be in it until the last minute. So I think stylistically, Tsarukyan has the edge based on his elite wrestling, but that doesn't mean that Dan can't put him asleep. So it's an interesting fight, and I'm very, very excited to see it.
Great analysis. Appreciate it so much, and all the very best. Continue to enjoy Fight Week. You look like you're enjoying it so far. You got a beautiful view there, as we stated at the top of the interview, but all the very best for this weekend, Ian.
I appreciate it. There's not long left. I'm excited to get into that octagon. Thank you so much.
Well, whānau, that is us for another week. Your final reminder, Dan the Handman Hooker in action this weekend on Sunday morning on ESPN, taking on Arman Tsarukyan. Slight warning though, the card starts quite early. Remember, this is coming to you live from Qatar. The prelims start at 3 a.m. The main card kicks off at 7 a.m. But remember, Dan Hooker's at the end of that card anyway. So Kate Pai, so get your coffees ready, settle in and watch some hangman action this weekend. All the action is on ESPN Live, Sky Sports 60. Don't miss it, whānau, and all the very best to our brother Dan Hooker. Hei ko nā mai.